Kaloko with about 20 crazies and myself. It's 7:30 in the morning. We're down at the bottom of Kaloko Drive in Kailua-Kona. Is that Kailua-Kona?
Oh, yeah.
Above Matsuyama store. And we're going uphill. We're going up 6.2 miles or so.
From where we are there at the bottom of Kaloko Drive, it's 6.5 miles to the very top. So we had about 20 bikers and runners who took off and did that course. And that is the 15th annual Pedal Till You Puke or Run Till You Ralph. So you had your choice. And then we also had the Papa P Plod, which we start at the 3-mile mark and go to the top, and that's 3.5 miles. So 6.5 or 3.5 miles, small group of hardy folks. It was nice and cool and cloudy, and as you'll see along the way, a lot of mist and a lot of rain. And there's good old Karl Happy Hubby Honma. He had won 8 times in the past, Rosie. So this is the 15th time. There's Tina Walter. She's a professional triathlete, and we've seen her at races, you know, throughout the year. Kawika. Yeah, Kawika is the runner-up in the mountain bike division last year.
Now, look how hard it is for the bicyclists on these hills. And they're going to deal with this all the way up. But this one guy, who's this guy right here?
Yeah, that fellow.
He had a hard time.
Adam Atwood, poor guy. He ended up only having a couple gears to ride in, Rosie, because something was going on with his derailleurs. And so he went all the way up the hill with like 2 gears, hard and harder. You know, so you know that you...
Look.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the start, you know? And that's nothing. The hills get steeper and steeper as you go.
Now, this guy looks like he's not even trying.
Well, Andy Schmid, you know, you got to start out smart. You can't go too hard off the front.
And people were impressed by his bike. What kind of bike was his?
It was a real nice road bike, real lightweight. I was impressed with John Bansemer here because, you know, this is his rookie attempt at Kaloko. He hadn't, you know, given that a shot before. You know, whereas Karl, he knows his splits to the second, you know, and the guy's won it 8 times, you know, previously out of the, you know, 14 previous races. So he knows what's going on.
His best time in this race was about 52 minutes up this mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
And the best time we've ever seen for bicyclists, best ever, was about 40 minutes.
Yeah, 4:00. So it's interesting because no one's ever broken 39. So look at Tina. I mean, you know, differing bike times. Here's Rani, you know, thin and petite, and she's having fun. But we know Rani, she's tough in this race, and she's won, you know, several times in the past. And Tina, you know, she's got more of the triathlete build. You see she had those quads on there, but she's got some power to go up that hill.
She got the shoulders and the muscles. Who's this guy trucking?
Daniel Hodel, you know, 50-some-odd-year-old athlete, and he was battling it out up there with, you know, the lead runners, and Brown Bear,
turn around and go back.
Tim Robinson. The gang's all there. This hill is one of those things, you know, see, everyone kind of looks like they're going slow. They're putting out more effort than they do sprinting on a Lee drive, Rosie.
This guy on right here, he looked the easiest going up this hill. He looked like he just had a way about his style.
Yeah, Jackie Huffman. I agree, because I did the Papa P Plod and started up. And then when Jackie came by, I mean, he was like conversational, you know? Smooth.
See, I mean, he's more like, let's go up a hill later.
Yeah, that's Rob Van Geen. Now that he's letting the hill show you that it is tough. And again, this is still one of the early on hills. They get steeper and steeper.
This is the very beginning.
This is the very beginning. Because it starts raining harder, getting foggier, you can't see too far. We got Frank Miller and Greg Horne, Wendy Deweese behind them. So
there's Wendy Deweese.
She has the bandana on her head, and I know this was her rookie attempt, and I think Ronnie had talked her into doing it, and she says, "Oh, I'm gonna get that, Ronnie." Here's Pammer Kidani and Liz Wright, and then Wendy right next to him.
Are you having fun yet?
Bandana, and they're all going, you know, kind of just checking it out, going, "Okay, what do we got in store for us here? We just started, and it's already hard." Clyde Kidani.
You know what I mean? You could pay for this experience.
But, you know, hill climbing, Rosie, there's an art to it. You know, I mean, we see what Lance Armstrong does at, you know, Tour de France, right? You know, I mean, those guys ride along hundreds of miles on the flats, and everything's cool. Everybody rides in a group. And then you hit a mountain, which is similar to this, you know, in elevation and, I guess, gradient, you know, the grade that it rises. Because this goes from 1,500 to 4,200 in that 6.5 miles. And here comes Andy again, still grinding away. You notice he's not sitting down much.
This is steeper.
Yeah. But we see what Lance Armstrong does in a couple miles of climbing, and so it makes a difference. Climbs are where it's at, and so it takes a certain beast. And I am impressed with John. I think he rode really strong and competed very well, considering it was his first one up there.
I keep on thinking man versus beast. I mean, these guys, they're competing against Karl. He's going up, and up hills, he's almost faster than the very top bicycles. He is, obviously, he's in third place now.
Yeah, because there are these switchbacks kind of up there. And when you get on these steep hills, running is actually, I think, faster than riding. And then when you get on those other sections, the bikes go by you again.
See, this is his support crew.
Yeah, that's Elsa. And she's making sure Karl's well-hydrated and on pace, and he slaughtered his time from the year before, too. So he was really knocking down what he did the previous year.
So Tina got some space on Ronnie.
Yeah, she was using those, you know, look, really efficient, huh? Just, you know, power pack. Doom, 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 all the way up the hill, you know. Here's Ronnie, hanging tough, trying to see if you can stay with her. Not falling too far behind.
What kind of music she listen to?
I don't know. Personally, I'd be listening to the new Harry Potter book on tape if it was me, but that thing, I'd do something to keep me interested.
But you're a weirdo.
Yeah, that is very true, Rosie. I would agree with that.
Now, these guys battled it out all day. They were close to each other. This was a funny thing. Eventually, the bicyclists took over.
Yeah, Daniel and Kawika.
Look, I mean, look at this. This is the runner, and this is the bicyclist.
Yeah, like I said, when
neck and neck.
When it's steep, it's really hard to keep up on the bikes.
And he's taking 2 steps for every one that the runner is.
Yeah. See, so here's the thing, too, Rosie. You got road bikes is one division, and then you got mountain bikes like Kawika. Now, Kavika's got easier gears. See how you can see how he can spin like that?
Yeah.
These
So
guys come up the hill, I was getting a feeling of man versus beast.
You got Krispy Kreme donuts at the top.
Interesting
Way to run
race.
this race for you guys. Let everyone get halfway up the hill and then jump in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you call aging up, you see.
Got it.
It's the Rosie Ruiz trick.
Right, those
Yeah,
are your
yeah.
lead. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And this way it's even set up in the rules so no one can say you're cheating.
Exactly.
We're waiting for the tram. Rosie took the subway.
You know, I did start, actually. Today, everybody but Waikea, right? Because Kona won.
Out of the mist, coming in.
Yeah, this weather was great. Everybody that went by was just loving it, Rosie. They were saying, you know, over and over, oh, this is great. We love this weather. And they all wiped out their times from the years before. So the cool definitely helped.
I was glad there were not a lot of cars coming down.
Yeah, it was a little scary. Coming down didn't have their lights on. Oh, and that surprised me. I was always hoping, you know, to see the lights through the mist like that. So I was just real good. When I was walking, I made sure I stayed off to the side the best I could, you know, and paid a lot of attention. Fortunately, it's real quiet, and you could hear a car coming from a long ways away. But you definitely couldn't see anything from a long ways away. And we did ask the chicken, but we didn't really get too much of a response.
Did you figure it out?
I think it was more of an answer of we knew why the chicken shouldn't have crossed the road.
She hasn't buried her pace much.
No, you know, again, like you see with a lot of the triathletes, they're really good at management, you know, whereas, you know, they swim, bike, run, pace, you know, they just know what zone to stay in. And it really helps them to be consistent like that.
Go.
Ronnie's right on pace about what she did the previous year, too. You know, within just a couple seconds. So it wasn't like she was slowing down. It's just that Tina Walter's a very exceptional athlete. Obviously, anybody that's a professional and, you know, racing against the best in the world is going to be tough in any of the 3 sports.
This is the finish.
Yeah, the final stretch up at the very top. It's real near the Farallon Farms, which is a Christmas tree farm up there in Kaloko. And Andy Schmid, just, you know, again, he's got a road bike, whereas Kawika Singson had the mountain bike. So his gearing is harder, but his bike is lighter. So Kawika's a heavier bike, easier gears. Andy, lighter bike, faster bike, harder gears, but his strong legs and strong lungs got him up the hill in 50 minutes and 28 seconds. And as fast as he looked, it's amazing to think that someone's gone 10 minutes faster than that. It really is. And weather up top was a little bit nicer than it was around the upper third of this thing, because it really started raining pretty hard.
He's hardly breathing hard. What's up with that?
Well, I think he was still, he was waiting for those Krispy Kreme donuts I had told him about earlier, because they were there, and we told him, don't worry, when you get to the top, there'll be Krispy Kremes, and so it was a well-deserved reward for someone that rode that hard.
They weren't fresh Krispy Kremes, so they came out of the freezer.
Yeah, I gotta admit, you know, we had the last big fundraiser, and we had a bunch of them, and then so they ended up in the freezer, so they weren't as crispy as creams could be.
Look at this race here. And actually, Karl was ahead of him for a while. He caught the bicyclist.
That's Karl for you. That guy's one tenacious fellow. But John Bansemer does cross the line second, and he does a 56.42. So he's about 6 minutes behind Andy. And then Karl, who last year, you know, was over an hour, chopped it down to 57.32 this year to take, you know, first for those on foot. And he's over coaching Iolani in Oahu, the Iolani girls cross-country team. So it'll be fun to see how that, you know, squad does during the season. We know his talent at taking, you know, runners at HPA and turning into the state champs and a champ himself. He just got inducted into the Big Island Sports Hall of Fame. So now he's in the Peaman Hall of Fame, the Vulcan Hall of Fame at University of Hawaii at Hilo, and of course now, you know, in the Big Island Sports Hall of Fame, which is in the shopping center there where Macy's is over on the Hilo side. It's real neat to go look at it.
You notice the camera getting jostled there. The crowds were so big at the finish line that I was getting pushed around out there.
Yeah, you know, everybody chickened out, Rosie, I'm telling you. We showed up just like the post office. Nor rain, nor sleet, nor hail, nor fog, nor nothing, nor hills. Everybody was there.
32.
So we had a good time.
What, you like go again?
And a good place to live in Honolulu, a good place to work. So that's always good.
The irrepressible Karl Honma.
Always good for a laugh. And look at this. She really picks it up on that home stretch, huh? She's moving.
It looks like you're going downhill, but this is still uphill right here.
Yep, it sure is. There's a slight downhill right before this final stretch uphill for what, like maybe 2 feet or something.
Right.
But it was just enough to give Tina the boost. And she's 4th across the line. Does an hour and 33 seconds, which is a new record. She knocked off 50 some odd seconds off of Rani Tanimoto's old record of 101.
Now they're married.
Andy Schmid and Tina Walter, yeah. And Tina, believe it or not, has 4 kids.
Wow.
2 girls, 2 boys. Boys are just starting up school over here. Fine young athletes themselves, too.
Now this was interesting. Another battle out here as is that Kawika beating out Rani?
Yeah.
The whole race.
Off there hiding in the fog. Kawika chugs in 104.19. It was almost like, I think it was about 4 minutes faster than what he did last year when he was a runner-up. Because last year, Lopaka was first and Kawika was second in the mountain bike race.
Huh.
So this year, Kawika took it, knocking off 4 minutes. I mean, he just looked strong the whole way up. He always had that good spin going. You know, and that bike is not light. And Rani, oh, man, just incredible. 104.30. You know, within 3 seconds of her time from last year, so really nice and consistent, you know. She's just tough.
Army.
Right across the power line there, 5th overall. There's Rani. So, in the running race, we've seen Karl and 2 Wahine. So, the ladies, they love these hills. They're tough, you know. They didn't chicken out.
That is the road that ends right up ahead.
Yeah, the end of the road's right at the top there. And you can continue on all the way to the top of Hualalai Mountain up through the nice trails and things. It's really beautiful up there. A lot of mountain goats and stuff. Big parrots. I saw the parrots on my way up the hill. Daniel Hodel, second place for the men, 7th across the line, 1:05:40. And so when you kind of think about this, Rosie, you know, in those like in the regular 6.2 milers or something, he could go under 40 minutes. And so this is a little bit longer, and of course much steeper, and it takes him over an hour. So you can see how the times are so much different.
I'm leaving now, but this is, who's this?
This is Rick. He set a record. Him and Tina were the only two record setters of the day. Rick Merstorff did a 40:28 for the Papa P Pod and Pedal record. And this is Brown Bear. He was 8th across the line for the long course. Tim Robinson was 10th across. Dan Fosso had crossed on the bike using his slippers. I don't know. It was incredible how he could do that.
He took his bike up with slippers?
Yeah, he had sandals on from the start. So this is Rosie headed back downhill, checking out the gang along the way, seeing what he can find.
That's another battle. Man against beast.
Yeah, see, there's Daniel with his sandals on.
At least your car is up there.
Frank Miller, he's a long-time Kona runner.
There you go, get it going.
Yeah, 20 years ago you could find his name in the results and stuff. So it was always neat to see him there. Kaloko, there goes Jackie. Still smooth.
Coming on the inside.
And there's Papa P. So you can see as it was raining down that side. It's a beautiful event up there, Rosie.
Wait, you left your boy behind.
Oh, he has a good attitude.
Yeah. Pammer chugging along. She's always nice and steady at all the events, a real good, you know, a regular at all Peamans and things. Liz Wright, I think this was her first time on Kaloko, to the best of my knowledge. She had a good support crew out there with her husband.
She looks good out there. She looked in good shape.
Everybody that went by just kept, you know,
didn't look painful.
They kept raving about the weather, though. You know, it was so interesting. Everybody was loving it.
How'd she do?
Wendy, she made it up
Looking
real
good,
well.
looking
She was
good.
127.42. Yeah, that was 5th place for the ladies, so she cracked the top 5.
Has Sanity got you yet?
Oh yeah,
He was around 128.
Wonderful.
He's at every event these days.
Yeah. I remember seeing him at Hapuna for the first time.
You just sucked him in. All of a sudden, he's everywhere.
Yeah, we got him.
Oh, here he is.
How you doing?
Trying to figure out what am I doing and why am I here?
You said you were a little
Your
chilly.
dad's looking good.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that cold that day.
We're about done here. Anything coming up real fast?
Yeah, September 11th, the next Peaman.